Welcome to Business from Scratch, where we keep it real, simple, and doable. I'm Abbye McGee, professional learn it the hard way girl, and your new business best friend. If you've ever Googled, do I need an LLC or a NAP? You're in the right place. Starting a business isn't glamorous. It's messy, it's terrifying, and sometimes it feels like you're making it up as you go. I know because that's exactly how I've started every one of my businesses. Now, after years of figuring things out, I love helping people find the confidence, the courage, and the skills to say yes to starting a business from scratch. This show is for anyone who has a business idea, has just launched, or maybe even feels like they're drowning in a business that was supposed to give them freedom, but instead feels like it's running their life. I've been there. I'm there now. And I'm here to help you find clarity, confidence, and boldness as you build something that lasts. You've probably heard the stat about 1 in 5 businesses don't make it past year 1, and about half are gone by year 5. So we're going to do a lot of talking about why and how to make sure you are not one of them. But first, a little background about me. I didn't wake up one day thinking, you know what? I'm going to run multiple businesses. Nope. I started because I needed to heal. So picture this. I was newly divorced. I had 2 little kids, 2 dogs, and me. I was completely broken, confused, and more than a little scared. I couldn't afford therapy, but I had a little house, a kitchen, and a desperate need for community. So every week, I invited friends over and cooked like my life depended on it because honestly, it did. I didn't sit around waiting to be invited. I opened the door, I set the table, and made my own community. And somewhere in between the pots and pans, I discovered just how good I was at feeding people, not just with food, but with love and hospitality. For the first half of my adult life and during this time of full life transition, I was a musician and a church worship director. When my life flipped upside down, I stepped away from that really public, really scrutinized role and went hunting for different. Somehow, I ended up in commercial kitchens, running other people's businesses. And let me tell you, I learned so much, mostly about how not to treat people. Those lessons are more valuable than a business degree. I took mental notes, I kept receipts, and I promised myself I'd never do business the way it had been done to me. That's a messy way to learn, but it worked. And then came my first private chef clients. And there's a whole story there that I'll tell you in a future episode. But one client turned into another. And before I knew it, this thing I had started for survival grew into a full-blown business. And that's what this podcast is about, taking the messy, real life parts of running your life and your business and turning them into something that actually works. No sugarcoating, no MBA required, just clarity, confidence, and a whole lot of attitude to help you build something that lasts. But here's the truth. I made mistakes and I made big ones. I've priced myself too low. I've overworked myself to the point of burnout. I've ignored the numbers because they freaking scared me and second guessed myself more times than I can count. I've cried in my car. I've hollered at the universe and had so many sleepless nights that I'm not sure sometimes how I am standing upright some days. If you're a business owner, some of these may sound familiar to you. And while some of those mistakes were painful, they also taught me lessons I never would have learned otherwise. I believe the best business school is actually being in business. So I don't regret those days. I lean into them. Quick break. I have to tell you about Unfilter. When I first started creating content, I had no idea how to pull all my ideas together. I was all over the place, a little short form, a little podcasting, nothing consistent. Working with Rich and the team at Unfilter changed that completely. Rich will bring order to your content chaos. Seriously, if you're a founder or creator who wants clarity and direction, go to unfilter.io. That's UNFLTR.io and schedule a call. Some coaching might be all you need to get moving. Looking back, I wish I'd had someone pulling back the curtain for me. Someone saying, hey, here are the basics that you actually need to know, and here are the traps you want to avoid. That's why this podcast exists. I want to take the lessons I've learned the hard way and use them to help you build smarter, cleaner, and with a whole lot more confidence from the very beginning. So here's what you can expect from the Business from Scratch podcast. You're not going to hear theory or motivational fluff. You're going to get simple, actionable steps that you can put into practice right away. Things that bring you clarity when you feel scattered, confidence when you feel uncertain, and boldness when you feel stuck. Some episodes will be just me, sharing what I've learned in real time as I grow and refine my businesses. Other episodes will feature conversations with other business owners and experts, the people who've been in the trenches like you and me, who can share what really works. We'll cover things like how to turn an idea into a sellable offer, the basics of pricing and money management without getting overwhelmed, how to build systems that save you time and your sanity, marketing that feels natural and authentic, hiring and leading people well, and maybe most importantly, how to keep yourself grounded when business feels like a roller coaster. My promise to you is this: every episode will give you at least one practical takeaway you can apply right now to move your business forward. But here's the thing. I don't just want to talk about strategies and systems. I also want to talk about the heart side of running a business. Because when you start something from scratch, it's not just about spreadsheets and branding. It's about your identity. It's about your resilience, your ability to keep going when things don't look like you thought they would. I want this podcast to be a space where you feel less alone in the process, where you can breathe and say, okay, I don't have to be perfect. I just have to take the next right step. If I can help you avoid even one of the mistakes I made or give you the courage to take the leap you've been putting off, then this podcast is doing its job. So here's what I'd love for you to do next. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming episodes. Share this with a friend who's starting or running a business. They're going to thank you. And if you have a specific question or a struggle in your business, send it to me. I'll use your questions to shape future episodes because I want this show to be practical and personal, not just me sitting here talking into a mic. In the next episode, I'll dive into what no one told me about starting a business, the things I wish they had. We're going to pull back the curtain on some of the good, the bad, and the absolutely absurd, and give you some clear step-by-step ways to avoid the avoidable. Think of it as your first page in the Business from Scratch handbook. I'm Abbye, and this is Business from Scratch. Thanks for being here. You are not alone in this, and I can't wait to see what you build. We'll cover things like, sorry, that was too slow. Can we do that one more time? I'm Abbye McGee, professional, learn it the hard way girl, and your new best. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have had that. 2 shots of espresso.